John Burridge was the oldest professional keeper in Britain, so experience wasn't a problem. It was the level-headed bit that worried Alex.
He had done a magnificent job signing me, because I was brilliant. I was his best signing by far.
If you know him, he's a bit off-the-wall character. Maybe that's been kind to him.
How can you describe John Burridge? John's a lunatic.
When John Burridge is happy, everybody's happy.
Sometimes he would drive, from a management point of view, he would drive you around the bend.
Turn up at training and Budgie would be ready with his boots on and his gloves, and that would be it.
Bullock make you freezing cold. I'm hard, I am.
We needed at the club somebody to come in, someone to lighten up the dressing room, somebody who was bonkers, and most certainly Budgie fitted the bill.
Burridge's 1,000-watt nuttiness and Keith Wright's 100% passion for Hibs gave the team the lift they needed. And before the 91-92 season kicked off, Alex Miller was confident.
Stephen, dive with your feet out.
You've got a solid spine, and at that stage we had Brian Hamilton and Murdo MacLeod in the central midfield area. And then we had up front, we had Keith Wright, we had Gareth, we had Mickey Weir in a wide area. You know, so we had a good mixture of experience and young players. And
Football's all about confidence. If you can go off to a good start, it sets up your season, and most certainly that's what our season was going to be about. If you could get off to a good start, and I'm sure the players would all respond to it.
You could bet on it. In fact, they did. Murdo took a trip to the local bookies and did some confidence-building research.
Did I get filled up by the SFA for this?
He had come into the changing room one day and says that he had got a good price for us to win the League Cup.
So we round all the boys, and some gave a fiver, some gave a tenner, some gave 20 quid. So everybody gave what they could afford at the time, and money get put on at the bookies.
I'm not too sure of the odds. I think it was about 25 to 1.
At 40 to 1.
Whoa, dear me, that's 400 nicker, isn't it? 400, well, they didn't let me know about that.
So the bet was on. They had the right players and the right spirit. On the terraces, the fans hoped their team could cover up the mental scars of the previous season and actually start winning.
After the first 2 or 3 games, when I think we won 2 and drew 1, we knew that something might be happening.
In the third league game of the season, Keith Wright, the Leith-born Hibs fanatic, scored the goal he dreamt about all his life.
I didn't think I was ever going to score. I had a few chances, and the goal I eventually scored was one that I didn't catch too well, and I sort of kicked the ball into the ground.
Keith Wright got a touch, there's Wright again, and this time he makes no mistake.
I was delighted to see that hit the back of the net, and that gave me a lot of confidence as well. So as I'll be able to score a few goals after that.
And safely drilled away by Keith Wright to put Hibs 1-0 ahead after just 5 minutes.
Winning becomes a habit.
And McIntyre has scored.
We knew before we went out we were going to keep a clean sheet. And we knew Keith or Gareth or Pat McGinley would score.
Murdo's betting slip was becoming more valuable by the game. Hibs were brimming with confidence and the fans were loving it. Not only were their team doing well in the league, but after beating Stirling Albion, Kilmarnock and Ayr United, the club were suddenly within touching distance of a trophy for the first time in 19 years. The last 4 teams in the draw for the League Cup were Hibernian, Dunfermline, Airdrie and Rangers.
When we got there and all the press rooms filled with all the press boys, they're doing a draw down the front, it came out Rangers against Hibs. And I'm kind of thinking, no, that's not in the script. We didn't want them, we'll keep them for the final.
We're pleased, it's a draw everybody wanted to avoid.
I met Maurice Johnson, who was the striker for Rangers at the time, and he's pal with Graham Mitchell, the left back, and he said, oh, it's a pity, if we'd reached the final both of us would have got a medal. He says, so it's a pity you're going to miss out. I said, oh, we'll wait and see.
One person with absolute belief in his ability to take Rangers by the scruff of the neck and shake them all over the park was away with the birds' Budgie. He started with a quiet word in the ear of the opposing striker.
Hateley, you're supposed to be a hard man, eh? Come in my box, son. I'll break your back.
He would do anything to psych players up.
And you, McCoyce, you're a superstar up here, son. You went down Sunderland and failed. You couldn't play with the big boys.
Maybe that was his way of calming people down. Maybe we then realised, well, if John Burries can stand up to them, we can stand up to them.
700 Premier League games, boys. You haven't played one between yous. You're rubbish.
Hibs went out fighting and held their ground against Rangers, Burridge leading from the back.
Budgie was in top form that night.
There's a chance for Johnston, setting himself to the left foot shot. Here's McCoy on the rebound, and Burridge was quick enough.
And Budgie again, quick reflexes, he got his cell up, and Alan McCoy hit a really good volley, and Budgie again was up there to stop it.
At the other end, Andy Gorham, playing for the first time against his old teammates, was desperate for his first piece of silverware. With the first half drawing to a close, the game was locked at 0-0. Something had to give.
Header down by Spackman, lofted through there by McGinley. There's no offside. Here's Mark McGraw, and a fine challenge made by Andy Gorham. There's Mickey Weir trying to chip.
He was trying to hit an area for Keith to get that big head he has on it.
It was like slow motion when it come over, and the fact that the Rangers players split and went on each of the posts.
And Hibs are ahead.
It's a matter of hitting the header into the middle of the goal.
Keith Wright with a header, and Hibs are ahead.
And Hibs went on to hold Rangers for the next 50 minutes. Keith Wright's winning goal had his fellow Hibs fans scrambling for cup final tickets, something unthinkable just 12 months before.
And there goes the final whistle. Hibs have beaten Rangers. They're through to the Skol Cup final. And there's the scene of jubilation.
We went out to celebrate that night, I remember that.